Hey, I've got a hot chocolate here for Knable.
Hot chocolate, wow.
Let's go sit. Let's talk a little bit. I'd love to hear about what's going on. Stephen, thank you so much for joining me here today. You know, you are one of our Harry Greenstein winners, which is amazing. I think your face will pop up here on the screen.
I just like walk through the building and randomly there'll be a picture of my kids and there's a picture of my children. So there you go.
Isn't that awesome?
It's something, I'll tell you that.
It's pretty cool. This is the first time we're filming here at the Associated's new headquarters at 5700 Park Heights.
I remember coming here all the time growing up. This was like the center of Jewish Baltimore right here.
And now this is the center of the future of Jewish Baltimore, here in the Rotunda. Tell me a little bit, you're from an Associated family. How is it with the expectation and creating your own path?
Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing, right? Associated family, and I just kind of have always said that maybe to describe to people like why I've been involved basically my entire life. But you know, I'm from Baltimore. My parents are from Baltimore. My grandparents are from Baltimore. Go way back, and as long back as I can remember, someone in my family has been significantly involved at the Associated, and it was just kind of how I was brought up. I always knew wanting to be involved in the Jewish community, which generally in Baltimore means the Associated, the Federation system, and its agencies, was likely going to be in my future.
It's beautiful that you received this award that's named after Harry Greenstein, who is the executive director of the Associated. Part of an engaged lay-pro relationship is understanding why each of those parties are at the table. What makes you want to be involved? I get that it's a family thing and it's, the Associated's been involved in your life. I'm privileged to serve on a committee with your wife. And I guess what keeps you guys going and keeps you going harder than ever in your involvement?
Being Jewish is very important to both of us. And I think probably anyone involved with the Associated knows being Jewish means lots of different things. To live in a kind of vibrant, relatively large American Jewish community here in Baltimore, but there really aren't that many of us. And if we're not kind of looking out for each other and furthering our history and our culture and our religion, then no one else is going to. And that's always been important to me, and just kind of understanding where we came from and, leaving this earth and passing something on to our kids and our grandkids is honestly like what it's all about. Look who it is.
Oh, hey, Linda, come on, pull up a chair.
This is,
come on.
No, I can't. I'm in this meeting, but I would love to.
We were just talking about you soliciting Dunkin' Donuts and getting their gift to double this year. You've been involved in Jewish community work for about 13, 14 years, but there's a number that's double that, that's a little bit more important to you. Do me a favor, talk a little bit about your passion for marathons, and I hear there may have been a faux pas on the Appalachian Trail. Tell us about that.
So I don't know that I would say a passion for marathons, probably the wrong way of putting it. Having said that, I used to be a pretty serious runner when I was younger. Eventually made the decision in my mid-20s that running wasn't good for my body. Ironically, I came back to it in my 40s. I don't know what that says about me. But I just like kind of setting a goal, whether it's professionally or in this case, I guess physically, and having something to strive for. In my 40s, I started running again. Run a couple marathons, some triathlons, not anything to write home about kind of time-wise, but then I wanted a goal that I was like, well, that's really hard. I probably shouldn't do that, but that's why I'm gonna do it. So I tried to complete an ultra marathon and I failed miserably, unfortunately. And about half of the race was on the Appalachian Trail, and it was cold, and it had rained the night before, and it was slippery. Probably shouldn't even have been walking it, let alone running it. But needless to say, I kind of lost that day. I do have this goal again. I like setting goals and just like having something to shoot for. So I want to climb Kilimanjaro. There are people we know who have climbed Kilimanjaro and done the entire 7 days kosher. So it's wild. You can get okay kosher food in Baltimore. You can get kosher food on the top of Kilimanjaro in Tanzania. So there you go.
Tell me a little bit about what the word mensch means to you.
I think it just means being a good guy, right? Like, I know that's probably overly simplistic, but, caring about other people, thinking about something not just yourself, and just like knowing to do the right thing and inherently doing it, right? Like, and not for personal gain. You just, that it's the right thing to do.
I mentioned a couple folks throughout this conversation that I would consider Mensches, obviously your wife and your mom. Who are some other Mensches in your orbit, in your life, that have been kind of guiding lights and gotten you where you are today?
I mean, it really is like my family members, right? My mom, my wife, everyone in my family, my dad, all of my family. But I was very fortunate to have all four of my grandparents alive for most of my childhood. And honestly, my grandfather that was in my life the longest, that I probably had the closest relationship with, and in many ways probably was the biggest influence on why I'm sitting here, Knable. It's probably like the one person I would point to more than anyone else. My first job out of college was working for Ben Cardin. He's a Mensch. And there are a lot of politicians that aren't Mensches, right? I unfortunately or fortunately interact with a lot. He's just a good guy.
Yeah. Stephen, you mentioned that you love running and Kilimanjaro's on the list. Once you hit the plateau of getting the Harry Greenstein Award, this summit is pretty high.
From here.
Well, actually, I think it's uphill, and you've got some exciting stuff coming up on the horizon. Tell me more about what you're doing moving forward here in the Associated.
Yeah, I think anyone that's involved in kind of any charity, quite frankly, once you put yourself out there as someone that's willing to do stuff, they're going to find stuff for you to do.
No good deed goes unpunished.
Exactly. I would argue Talia's and my first love, almost, is Israel, right? I'm going to have to really work hard to not get her to retire in Israel, or some people retire to Florida, she's retiring to Tel Aviv. We take every opportunity we can to go to Israel. And I guess I'm kind of bringing it full circle. I guess my adult associate involvement started post-family mission. We are very fortunate to be chairing or co-chairing the next family mission about a year from now. So hopefully we will pack several buses, and Baltimore will take on Israel.
That's awesome.
So,
what is you mentioned Tel Aviv. What are your three favorite things about Israel?
So I'm a history guy. I just, everyone steps off the plane in Ben Gurion and it just immediately feels different, right? But I can't go to the old city enough. I can't take in the history of the country enough, knowing that I am walking, where people have walked for thousands of years, and we're literally turning points in the history of our world, let alone our religion, have happened, in the steps that I am walking, is awe-inspiring to me.
Stephen, thank you so much for spending time with us today. Kudos for everything you've done, for everything that your wife and your family has done, and really a shout out to your kids for the sacrifice they're making.
I guess we'll see.
Yeah, they're clearly learning some good behaviors, and thank you for everything you're doing for the community and with the community. And we look forward to getting lots of folks on those buses.
2026, December 2026.
Amazing. Thanks
All
for
right.
coming.
Thank you.
Yankee Shore, and this is Mensches in Cars Getting Coffee.